Hey guys, today I'm going to just do a short video about what type of format I usually like reading between ebooks, audiobooks, hardback, paperback. And I guess for a list would be number 1, e-reader, number 2, paperback, number 3, audiobook, number 4, hardcover. My reason for this is I find e-readers, I like especially the ones now. I've had e-readers or a Kindle since 2010, and only within the last 2 years have I gotten a Kindle Paperwhite, which has the backlighting to it. So I enjoy reading in the dark, and it's more easier on the eyes, and it helps you get to sleep a little bit easier, or it's not as stressful. Like, I can just sit in the dark. I don't need a lamp, and I really enjoy that aspect. The other thing about it is the size of the font. You can choose a number of different styles, and you can change the size. That's another huge plus for me. Third reason I enjoy the e-reader or the Kindle more is just the size of it, that you can lay in different positions, you can carry it, you can carry multiple books to and fro. That was actually the first reason I ever got it, because I was in the military for a little while and I moved around a lot, and it was not feasible to carry all the books that I had with me from here to there because it would get expensive quick, and I would also lose a lot of books that I did own. So that was my reason for getting a e-reader, and that's why I kept it, or that's why I still read it today. I've just gotten used to it. I enjoy the less strain on the wrist. I like the print size, the backlight, and I live in a not as many people read where I live. The nearest brick and mortar bookstore where I live is about 2 hours away, and it's just hardly anyone reads. We got a few public libraries, and there's a few religious bookstores here and there, but no secular or like general bookstores besides like the retail stores where it's just like the newest books of the time are just like a few romance novels, few whatever the most popular mystery novel is, and more religious books. But so that way I can expand my horizons and I can find books quickly, and I don't have to wait for shipping. Usually the download time takes only a few minutes for it, or if that, maybe like a minute. So that's why I enjoy the e-reader or the Kindle the most. I'll show you Kindle. This is the cover. Little Japanese girl. Same on the back. And this is it. I got like, I don't know, like a 70s floral type design. I don't know. And there goes. It has a backlight and everything else for when I want to read in the dark, or before I go to bed. My second favorite format to read in is paperback. There's just something, ever since I was a child, book fairs and so forth, the paperbacks tend to be cheaper, especially, and when a new book came out, it would be hardback first, then you just wait a little bit and paperback would come out. And I always thought that the paperbacks had a better design cover. I know that's taboo, you should never judge a book by their cover, but I mean, we're all guilty at some point or the other of doing that. And I don't know. I always thought the paperbacks had a better design. And there's just something about cracking open a paperback and kind of like showing where you've read, and like you can tell when someone's read it, and you're like, I guess it's more like trophy collecting. Trophy, sorry, can't talk. Trophy collecting, and just like, yeah, I read this, this, and this. Even if it's just to myself. Here, I'll show you a paperback. See, you can definitely tell that's been read. But I always felt like the paper and so forth holds up pretty well in paperbacks. And for the most part, you can bend it to how you need. And I don't know. For the most part, except for occasion, most paperbacks are you can fit in your hand pretty well. And you can bend it, so it's easier to read, especially before the e-reader. Uh, I've been reading paperbacks way before the Kindle, and I'm reading one right now, so the Kindle didn't kill my love of paperbacks, obviously, so it kind of goes hand in hand. I'll pick up one, then the other, and just kind of go from there. The third, audiobooks. I remember when I was between 10 to 13, and I picked up an audiobook at the library. I forget, it was like a mystery novel, and it involved something in cat, but it was like an adult novel, like a sleuth, like a more lighthearted one, and I enjoyed it. I can't remember the title or anything anymore, but it was on cassette, like audio cassettes, so that shows my age, I guess. And that was the first time, and I really enjoyed it. But I didn't pick up another audiobook for so long after that. And then I was living in Maryland. I was still in the military, and I was driving around a lot. And the local library there had, for the size of the library, had a pretty good or decent amount of audiobooks, this time on CD. And I would listen to them in the car from driving from point A to point B, mostly during the travel, and that's when I started to pick up the habit with audiobooks. But then that kind of died a little bit, and only recently have I started listening to audiobooks again on my commute from work to home, from home to work. And as with the adult coloring books, I find myself I can sit and color in them and listen to an audiobook as well. Other than that, I can't. Maybe sometimes when I go to sleep. Right now, I'm listening to The Hobbit, and that is one story I can listen to for a little bit without having to do something. With audiobooks, I feel like I have to be doing something to actually listen to the story. I can't just sit there and not do anything and really grasp the story. I don't know. If you have, I wonder if, I always wonder if other people have that same thing when they listen to an audiobook, if they can just sit there and listen to it and like close their eyes, or if they have to be doing something. I've tried it a few times where I just sit there and close my eyes, and sometimes it works, but very rarely. And fourth is a hardback. I'll show you a hardback. Not that you guys don't already know what it looks like, but this is my The Book Thief by Marcus Cusack. This is the UK edition. But as you can probably tell, I have not read this edition. I've read the story a while ago, again, ebook, but I wanted a hard copy of it. But the thing is, I don't want to break the spine, and I know sometimes the spines break. And I've heard there's like special ways, like, oh, if you open the book to the left side or hold it this way or do this, or if you get this type of glue, you can fix the spine. It's too much. It's a nice decoration, and I enjoy having the hardback occasionally, but as for actually reading it, no, I would take a paperback over a hardback any day. But that's just me. But what are your guys' opinions? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think hardbacks and paperbacks should be the only reading material? Or do you like the e-reader alone? Or do you just listen to audiobooks and find that's an easier way to consume more books? Let me know. Um, one quick note. The thing with the electronic books, I feel like there's more stories coming out, and it's easier for people to publish their own books, which can deal with like different stories, different ways, especially like short stories. And I really like that. Sometimes there's a lot of crap though. Like sometimes the grammar's bad, the spelling's off, the story doesn't make sense, and sometimes I feel like it should have went. No, it just shouldn't be, but sometimes you can find a lot of diamonds. It just depends on where you look and how you look and how often you look, really. So my last saying for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good day or a good night wherever you are. And thank you for watching, and if you like and subscribe, please do, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.